O.M.M here. It's been a little hectic going on right now. You haven't really seen a lot of videos. Been on vacation, getting into my new apartment. School's about to start, and I also had the Marvel week going on. So it's been a little hectic trying to get videos up. Just wanted to give you a quick update on why I haven't really been updating a lot of videos. But I really wanted to talk about this. I'm late to the party, but for those who don't know, we have just lost Robin Williams, who, as a kid, was probably one of my favorite actors, one of the most entertaining, and I just did not expect him to just die of depression. I mean, he just never seemed like that kind of person who seemed depressed or suicidal, and it's an extraordinary shame. Especially to lose someone to depression. We lose, from what I understand, like 39,000 people each year to depression, and there is treatment, of course, for it, and I'm sure Robin Williams had treatment, but it's sad to say that he lost this battle. I don't want to keep talking about that part of what happened to him. I actually would like to do my own little tribute to Robin Williams, talk about two of my favorite Robin Williams films. So they're like they're not really reviews, they're just talking about Robin Williams' performance in the films. And he's done a lot of great films, like he's done Mrs. Doubtfire, he's done Dead Poets Society, Hook, which I will defend as a great movie, but I'll actually say it's pretty good. I actually did like Hook. I like the concept of Peter growing up and forgetting that he was Peter Pan and all that. So I thought that one was actually okay. Whether you love it or hate it, the Night at the Museum films, I thought he was a great Teddy Roosevelt. In fact, if they made a Teddy Roosevelt movie, I would have loved to have seen Robin Williams play Teddy Roosevelt. My two favorite films, which have Robin Williams in it, would be Good Will Hunting and Aladdin. We'll start with Good Will Hunting. I think in Good Will Hunting, basically what happens is Matt Damon's character is this child prodigy, or like this super smart kid, but he's not really applying himself or making a great life for himself. He has this really low income job. He lives in a rundown house. He hangs out with really not the best of friends, and he doesn't apply himself really. He gets arrested, and this professor bails him out under the condition that he gets psychiatric help, and he basically blows off all the psychiatrists until he meets Robin Williams, who's also a psychiatrist. And in many respects, Robin Williams' character, Sean, is a lot like Matt Damon's character, who's Will. They're both incredibly intelligent, but they don't necessarily go that far up. They didn't go that above and beyond, really. Like Robin Williams' character Sean is basically just this low-level college professor, and Will is basically, he could get into something like Harvard, but he just chooses not to because he's afraid to basically move on with his life. But there are many other similarities that they have between each other, and I'll get into that. But like, I think I have three favorite moments, Robin Williams moments in those films. The first one is when Will meets Sean for the first time, and they're having a talk, and Will is really testing Sean's patience. And at one point, near the end of the conversation, he starts talking about Sean's wife. And then Sean snaps. I'm just going to call him Robin Williams. Robin Williams snaps and just threatens Will if he ever talks about his wife again, he'll break him. And he cusses, and that's the first time I ever heard Robin Williams cuss in a movie. That's the first time I ever saw Robin Williams look legitimately angry. I've never seen... I never really expected to ever see Robin Williams get angry, and it was just very surreal to see. So the next one is, from what I understand, this scene was ad-libbed for the most part. It's Robin Williams and Matt Damon. They're just talking in therapy, and Robin Williams just goes off on this little story about how his wife would fart in her sleep. And it's just a little, I never really thought that I would laugh at a fart joke, but it's kind of a funny conversation, basically. It's how, like at one point Robin Williams says, oh, she'd wake herself up and think that I did it. And it's just it's really kind of funny. It's a nice conversation. It ends on a sad note, but it's really, it starts off as a funny conversation. My third favorite moment from Good Will Hunting, which has Robin Williams in it, is near the end when Will is kind of breaking down. Like, a lot of bad stuff has been happening to him. And it's implied that, well, actually, it's revealed that Will was a victim of child abuse due to his foster father. And Robin Williams also says that he was also a victim of child abuse. And the whole thing with Will is basically they're saying that he has a hard time trusting people or moving on, and it's probably because of the child abuse. And there's this really touching scene with Robin Williams trying to he's constantly over and over and over again telling Will that it's not his fault, and having Will try to accept himself and just move on with his life. And it shows how much, that shows really that Robin Williams is the most parental figure in Will's life. Most likely, it's the one he can most relate to. It's the person who showed him the most support. It's one who's pushed him the most. It's a really great performance, and I think it's Robin Williams' best dramatic role. I haven't seen all of Robin Williams' films, so there maybe are more dramatic roles that are better, but I still think this is the best performance he's given in a dramatic role. Then we have Aladdin. If you were a kid growing up in the 90s, you knew Robin Williams for being the genie. And you know the story of Aladdin. Poor boy finds the lamp, genie comes out. And the genie is the best supporting character I've probably ever seen in an animated film. He literally every scene that he's in, he steals the show. Your eyes are just directly on the genie. You're like, what is he gonna do next? And it's great because, again, apparently Robin Williams improv'd a lot of his lines, and that's another thing about Robin Williams. He was great at making things up on the spot. And apparently, a lot of the lines that he said that weren't in the script. Some of them appeared in the film, some of them don't. So I don't really know which ones are improvised, but apparently some of them are not. Some of the lines he says in the film are not scripted, and they just went along with it. And I think that in terms of the best moments in Aladdin, I always liked the song "Friend Like Me." I thought that was a really good song, and I thought it was a great visual piece. I love the introduction of the genie, and it's showing Robin just improvising again, or just doing. It looks like it's Robin doing more of his stand-up. And I love the scene also when the genie saves Aladdin from drowning. It's like he doesn't want to waste Aladdin's wish just for this, but he has no choice. That's the only way he can save him. And there's like a nice little image that I've been looking at again recently. It shows just Aladdin hugging the genie, and it's a really nice image. And then I think I also really like. There are two more scenes that I really like with the genie. The one where he thinks that he's going to be freed, but Aladdin can't free him. That was really heartbreaking. As well as the last scene with the genie when he is freed. That was really a really touching moment as well. And in terms of jokes, because there are tons of jokes in Aladdin, I'm not necessarily sure what my favorite one is. It's been a while since I've seen Aladdin. I think there is a moment when he turns into Groucho Marx, which I actually think is kind of funny. And then there is another moment where he turns into this Jack Nicholson-like character. Like, he has the hair, he has the glasses, he has the giant smile. It's like when Aladdin is asking him what he should do when talking to Jasmine. He like looks up to Aladdin. He's like, "Okay, Sparky, here's the deal. If you want to woo the lady, you gotta tell her the truth." I feel like it's him doing a Jack Nicholson performance. But I there were just so many good jokes in Aladdin that I really liked, and I think it's my favorite. It's my favorite Robin Williams comedy. I think it's probably what he's best known for now in terms of, well, at least in terms of animated movies, maybe even films. Everyone just remembers Robin Williams as the genie. On a this is actually not on an unrelated note, but I was originally my next review was going to be the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, and I was just getting all my information down, writing my review, and I found out that Robin Williams actually somewhat had a small part in that film. He apparently was this big Ninja Turtles fan, and he was working on this film at the time. I think it was called Cadillac Man, with actress Judith Hogue, who plays April O'Neil in the Ninja Turtles film, and he found out she was going to be in the movie, and got excited, and he supplied her with all this information on her character, basically. I think that was just a really cool thing to note, that he was a part of that. In fact, I think Robin Williams was actually a big comic book fan, because I remember whenever reading like news about Batman, I always heard that Robin Williams is actively trying out to play either like the Riddler or the Joker. So I never really pictured him as one of those characters. Looking back, I think he could make a good Riddler. I think he could have made a good Riddler. So I think that's awesome that he's a comic book fan, because comic book fans are awesome. I don't really know what else to say. If you're going to watch any Robin Williams films, I would recommend the two that I just listed, Good Will Hunting and Aladdin. Those are my two favorites. Dead Poets Society, Mrs. Doubtfire, those are good too. But the ones that really left an impact on me were the Good Will Hunting and Aladdin. I don't really know what else to say other than this is a big loss. This is probably the biggest and worst piece of news I have received all year. I get a lot of both personal and movie news. This is probably the worst I received. I never expected Robin Williams to leave us. Depression is a horrible thing. I think at one point everyone has suffered through it, but some more so, worse than others. And apparently Robin had this great struggle going on, and none of us really realized it until it was too late. I offer my condolences to his family and friends, and just want to say, Robin, thank you for making us laugh, at times crying, but thank you most of all for being this incredible person. Thank you for all your humility, for all your funny jokes, for all of your words of wisdom, and I hope you rest in peace in a whole new world. Thank you very much, Robin. We'll miss you.